Hey guys, Joey here. Over the past week, society has come again to a terrible, terrible tragedy. 22 deceased in Nova Scotia from an act that should not have happened. One of them, frontline worker with the RCMP. This does hit home with my sister and my brother-in-law, both being members of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Also, here in Oz, in Victoria, 4 members of the Victorian Police Department lost their lives on a routine traffic stop. Our hearts go out to you guys. We're in a situation right now that none of us, have ever come across. Now more than ever, we need to stick together, help each other out. If you need help, just ask. Call me. Call Bert. Just ask for help. All right, now into the big. Bertsky, how are ya?
I'm well. I'm pleased to announce that we have Ice Hockey Australia President, La Presidenta,
El President
Miranda Ransome.
Should I
No.
curtsy? Do I curtsy? I don't know. Like, what do I do, Bertsky? We're in royalty.
Well, I'll let you introduce. Give a formal introduction.
10 years I've known this young lady. 10 years now. She's just been the apple, the smile, the cherry on top. And now she is guiding this great country into the future. The essence. I don't even know. I'm speechless. For once in my lifetime, I'm almost speechless. This is the El Presidente, Miranda Ransome. How are you, Miranda?
I'm good. And wow, what an introduction. No, you don't need to curtsy. And thank you for those kind words. Wow.
Miranda,
So hop into it.
I met you the early stages of me being here. Bert too. You were always the most smiling face, the hockey mom, and my first 3 weeks of January. You always graced us with your presence. It's been a long time. It's been a very long time.
Yeah, 10 years is a long time, isn't it?
10 years. I would have. I don't even have friends that long, do I, Bert? Bert?
Miranda, what was your first impressions of Joey?
Oh, God. You know what? That was at HISS, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I met you. Probably
This
to
guy's
do
not
with
doing his job.
Nash camps.
You're probably saying this guy's not doing his job.
No.
He was hiding behind the desk in the pro shop.
Hey, wake that guy up. We need an ice clean. No, that was right.
Listen,
Common misconception.
You too have a smiley face, and was always very accommodating and great with the kids at camp and with IHA and what we were trying to do there.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Hey, it's my pleasure. I love it. I love the sport. That's why I was asked to come on board and help out Bert. Improve his skills, backward skating, forward skating, shooting, passing, style, everything. So.
And look how good he is now.
Not as good as they used to be, that's for sure.
Yeah, he went from captain to assistant captain, back to captain. Sorry.
Anyway.
First, Larry, let's get into this. This is awesome. I'm flabbergasted that you came on board with us. This is awesome. We started low with Brian Bales, hit the midway point with Joey Rezick, and now we're right at the top. We're shooting for the top of the start. So, first and foremost, let's get a how do you go from being a hockey mom to get how does you just say I'm gonna get Jack into this? This is a neat sport.
Yeah.
There's 2 guys and there's a guy in Newcastle, guy that just came in Sydney, pretty cute guys. I'm gonna get my kid involved. Probably, how does that happen?
Yeah. So I got into the sport because Jack got into the sport. He started skating, I think it was 2008 at SIA, and that was a bit of an accidental thing where we were out for Father's Day one Sunday and out there at Norwest. And he said, "Oh, what's that big building over there?" And we said, "Oh, well, we'll go for a walk." And of course, it's the ice rink. And we walked in and he said, "Oh, I want to give it a go." Put on a pair of blue skates, spent most of his time on his bum on the ice, but didn't want to leave. And that was sort of the start. He went and we started him off with skating lessons. And then he met Carl Di Piazza, who looked at him and said, "You need to play hockey, buddy." And that was sort of the end of that. Bought a pair of hockey skates, went to D-League, met some pretty good people, and we joined the Emperor's Club. And I got involved with the committee of the club, and it sort of grew from there. And as Jack advanced in hockey, as he got older, I got involved with national camps and got involved with the New South Wales state teams, sort of management of the state teams. And, cut a long story short, ended up being asked to come on board with IHA to run their national camps. And that's sort of the, how I guess I got from club hockey to IHA, and that sort of progressed then from, volunteering to be on the board, and I was on the exec. I think that was 2016 or 17, and here I am now.
Well, I guess, yeah, here we are now. For the listeners, the tens of listeners, give us an overall roles, responsibilities, specs, who's really helping you within your role and what you're trying to accomplish. I know that's like 10 questions in one, but
yeah,
go for
that's
it.
okay. Yeah, so obviously as president of IHA, I also chair the board, and the board sets the strategic direction for the sport, and it also is responsible for managing and operating our activities, and that includes obviously our national championship. So we've got Ginsberg, DeFries, Tange, Browns, and we've also introduced the new women's national championship, and we also have our leagues, the AWIHL, the AJIHL. Obviously our national teams, that's one of our important activities, and our development programs, and that includes what we do in terms of providing coaching and officiating, accreditation and education. So there's a team of people involved. The board has 5 members, and then we've got a number of portfolio directors that are all involved in operating IHA. I mean, some of the day-to-day stuff that I do is I chair meetings, I engage with government, the AOC, Sports Australia, IHF. This week, Sunday night, we had a board meeting, and then on Wednesday I chaired a national teams meeting where we talked about the future for our national teams, what's happening with this COVID-19 issue, and today I dialed into the Sports Australia financial network meeting. So yeah, there's a lot in it. There's a fair bit that we do to keep the sport going.
Yeah, a whole lot going on behind the scenes, more than I could ever fathom.
Yeah, there's a lot of people working really hard at IHA to keep things going.
All right, so I guess moving forward from that, I think it's safe to say that resources within Australia are somewhat limited due to ice time, due to figure skating, due to public skating, birthday parties, this and that. Where do we see growth potential, and where do we see further exposure to ultimately grow our game?
Yeah. I wonder whether ice time really is holding our sport back. I'm not sure, and I think others agree with me that we're fully utilising the ice that we've got, and I think that we could probably do a better job. But look, where I see the important aspects of this sport for IHAs is growth. We need to broaden our base. That's really important to us. We want to see increase in participation, and that's actually our number one objective going forward. And I know that's true of a lot of sports. And yes, we've got many challenges, but we want to grow participation at grassroots, at all levels. I mean, I've got a keen interest in making sure that we're growing our juniors. So that's sort of the really important aspects of what we do.
So through that growth, is that based upon getting people to the rink and say public skating? Is that through the social media outlets and showing that there's this game that, has all the elements the Australians love? What's going to be best there?
Yeah, I think one of the things is that we need Australia to know that we play hockey, and we've got ice rinks, and that hockey is one of the fastest games in the world. And if you're not playing it, why not? Why aren't you playing hockey? So we absolutely need to promote the sport generally, and I know that's quite difficult. And Bert, you're right when you say that. We're low on resources. I mean, one of them being money. So we've got to be creative about promoting our sport. And one of the things that we're doing at IHA is looking to partner with people that want to help us to promote the sport. And IHA's been working with a company called Me You We, and we're actually at the stage where we've got, this is pretty exciting actually, we've got Mark Levy, who is the announcer on the continuous call team for 2GB. He's actually come on board as an ambassador for ice hockey. So, and that's just brand new. And, and we're wanting to get, the sport of ice hockey seen out there. And more importantly, we actually want people to want to come on this journey with us, and that means sponsors and people putting money into the sport, sponsoring our junior development. So and that's a huge task. That's a huge task for us.
Yeah, yeah, that's it's absolutely insane. And like you say, like one of the big things with grassroots sports and starting them off and implementing it. And I know how Hockey Canada has implemented a lot of stuff like that, incorporating high schools, incorporating school programs and stuff like that. One big thing that I know, South Australia Sports or Ice Sports Federation, and it's just in Adelaide, obviously this is the only ice rink, but they've incorporated that it's like a youth generating program, like to get like even and they've had like they have like an Aboriginal team or something like that. They have that they're starting out, and
Natalie.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Like it's, but yeah, no.
So I guess that would almost lead me into my next question. Like, is it through that growth and potential, any key objectives that you saw, I guess, before and or after taking this role? Like, what are we hoping to accomplish here?
Look, our objectives really are no different from other boards that have run IHA, and that is that it's around growth. It's still around growing the sport. That's the major objective. And one of the things that I would like to see is to continue focusing on growth, but also to provide value for our members without charging them more money. I don't know, whether that's more games, more development opportunities, more development camps. We've reinstated the old National Women's Championship. That's around providing more opportunity, more games for women to play. So yeah, it's growth and about providing value for members.
All right. Well, how do you? I know as a parent, as a dad, obviously I'm a dad, not a mom. And thanks, appreciate that. And how do you go? I can't shuffle a deck of cards, let alone shuffling. how you do it. How you're
Oh,
a mom, a wife, a hockey mom, and now a hockey mom. And I'm not taking anything away from moms out there, so don't put me on the stake or nothing like that. Like, moms are awesome. I talk to my mom every day still, whether I like it or not.
She likes it.
Yeah. And she still just can't quite figure out the time difference of Australia to Canada, but that's not neither here nor there. But mom, wife, hockey mom, like, you got your businesses that are awesome, and then you got running IHA. Like, how do you do it? Like,
yeah.
where's
I don't.
I can't see the cape. Where is it? Where's the cape?
No, I don't sleep. No, I'm just kidding. Look, I'm really lucky in that, because I've got my own business, that I'm my own boss, and I can largely work from home. So that gives me an enormous amount of flexibility to do what I do, and also I don't get much sleep. So, I think you'll find, or a lot of people get emails from me at 2 and 3 in the morning. So yeah, it's just a matter of, I don't know, being organised and loving what I do too. So,
with that being said, and leading it into being the hockey mom and or mom and IHA, is there a bit of family rivalry? Like, like Steve was the. Did you guys cross paths? You guys cross paths when Steve was running Ice Hockey New South Wales, and you're on the board of IHA. But like, you got Jack. Jack's playing a lot of hockey. You know, he's made a couple appearances with the Dogs. He's playing national teams. Steve's helped out. Is he chef de mission? Bert, was he your chef de mission last year?
Oh, I think every year that I played. I think all 6 years.
And Steve's also he's helping. He's helping with Australian juniors. I had the pleasure of reffing this year, and I never got yelled at by Steve, so I obviously took that as doing a good job. Either that or I just blanked out for a while. But is there any type of family rivalry? Like, you guys are all striving for the top seat. You guys
No. There's no rivalry at all. I mean, we're a family, and we love each other, and we love what we do. And honestly, hockey is such a fantastic sport that someone like me who doesn't play it fell in love with it. And I feel so privileged to have been involved with the sport at the different levels. But rivalry, no. I mean, no. I mean, I don't think Steve would ever make it to a national team. Neither would I. I don't know if Bert's ever seen him on the ice. He does play, but there's no chance of him making to an Australian team.
No, I've the utmost respect. He's an awesome guy. Had some awesome conversations along the way. Obviously, I've been to Europe a few times with him. Had a great time, and he's great at what he does. He's played a huge role for us on the men's national team too. So I guess forever grateful. It's good to see him there every year. Unfortunately, we're not there right now, but hopefully next year.
Yeah. Hopefully next year.
Two great photos that I always come across when I see Steve Ransom is one, him sitting with Matt Armstrong in the stands when Army got booted from a game last year.
No, in Serbia, yeah.
And the one that I always come across, and I always give it a quick squint on it when it says on his Facebook profile, he's just like hitting a rail while he was skiing and stuff like that, and he just passed over to get off.
That's actually a picture of Jack.
Oh,
really? But you know what? He is a skier. So yeah. Oh, listen, we've all gotten a lot out of hockey. The experiences. From where I volunteer and where Steve volunteers and Jack playing, we've gotten a lot out of this sport. And as I said, I feel pretty privileged to be involved with the people I've been involved with, including you guys, getting to know you and meeting Bert, meeting you 10 years ago. That's it's been fantastic.
All right. Well, now having a seat at the IHF table, I guess that leads into the question of who do you see us modeling maybe our governing body after? Who do you see that is providing with the best growth, potential, training? Obviously, we're in the Southern Hemisphere. Our winter's their summer. But how do we go from there?
Well, we've, you know what, that's a really good question. We're an organisation that's, I think in terms of its governance and modelling, has got a really good model in terms of being a national sporting organisation. Whether we, I guess, want to mirror or imitate any countries in terms of, you know, what they're doing and what their programs are, look, good question. And I think that a lot of countries that do really well do so because of their geography. Now, I don't think their programs are any better or more comprehensive than ours. I just think that Australia has its own unique challenges, and it's got a lot to do with geography, how big we are, spread out population. So we need to be really careful not to pick a single model that we just want to, you know, shove ourselves into. It's really interesting. I know the Estonians have an organisation that has as many players as we do, so they're, you know, pretty small, and they've got some interesting programs, but it's not really going to work for us because essentially, you know, their junior development involves the kids playing in the country next door, and in, you know, European league. So we don't have that. We don't have the ability to do that. So, you know, we pick and choose. We pick and choose from what's out there. And, you know, Ryan O'Hanley has developed our player development programs and modelled them on the USA, which is, you know, they've got some great ideas. So yeah, it's really a matter of picking and choosing what's best for our situation.
Yeah, I think it's going to Worlds. I think we're at an immediate disadvantage in the fact that, like I said, we're coming out of summer, they're coming out of season.
Yeah.
So to replicate that game speed, you know, jumping right into a 5-game tournament, 6-game tournament, whatever it is real difficult. Has there been any talk of, you know, national team development prior to the tournament or a training camp?
Well, you know, you guys attend camp before championships, as do all our national teams. And one of the things, obviously, that we, you know, you've been involved in this, and that's building on the opportunity and preparation for the men's team with that game that you just played recently in Melbourne. So we had that, was it Australia versus Melbourne? And the Trans-Tasman series is a really good precursor for Worlds as well. Oh, you're
really
smiling.
good.
Yeah. Yeah, what
a
an
great
awesome
time.
tournament. Yeah, what an awesome tournament that was. So, so look, I'm really hoping that this COVID thing allows us to go back to New Zealand, you know, in preparation for 2021 World Championships, and hopefully in the future, you know, we'll reciprocate New Zealand and have them come over and play that. So, yeah, we've got, I guess the men have got that preparation. Women are coming out of an AW season. So they're probably more at an advantage than you. The under 20s, theoretically, we've got them, and the under 18s are coming out of an AJ season.
That's true.
In fact, the under 18s, I think we normally play AJ finals, and less than a week after the finals, they're on a plane hopping overseas to do camp in preparation for their championships. Yeah, same with the under 20s. So the under 18 women, not so much opportunity, but last year we actually sent them to a tournament in Taiwan, which was really good. That was pretty exciting. I think that was a 4 or 5 day tournament, so it was quick in and out. But it gave our women, under 18 women, an opportunity to play other countries and play at a high level in preparation. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, we've got the I guess disadvantage of being in the southern hemisphere, but you know what, it is what it is, and I think we do quite well.
You make the best of it.
Yes, exactly.
And I think ultimately the end goal is to compete for the Olympics. Obviously, it comes down to money and travel and that. And would you agree that that's the biggest restriction? Because I think that we could play and beat a lot of the teams that are playing, in contention for a spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, getting to the Olympics is an aspirational goal for IHA, and I know that it's right up there, but you've got to have those goals. And yeah, I think that if we had more opportunity, more games, sure, we'd be better prepared, and it might be in a different spot. I don't know whether that would change the experience for you. I don't know. Do you have a good time when you go away?
Absolutely, it's the best.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Bert,
So
Bert would be first cut. He'd be Donskis. If there's a six in the bound, no.
I'd be going for equipment manager, assistant coach, whatever.
I would I'll make the laces.
Third goalie. I'm in.
I'll Geppetto their sticks. I don't really care. I'm trying to get on the national team. Heaps of time. Not even as a player. Not even remotely close. But I think I've tried to hit the New Zealand team up 6 years or something like that. And Mr. Webster just keeps crushing my dreams. Yeah, I'll give you a call. I'm like, all right, sick. And then I'll walk away.
Yeah.
I'm like, he doesn't have my number. Whatever. Anyways, but you touched briefly on the women's. You touched briefly on the women coming out of the A-Dub season, going into their championships. The rise in the women's ice hockey in Australia has come leaps and bounds since I've got here. I think the first year, second year that we had in Newcastle, we had the Women's World Championships. Huge event. I believe we hosted a amazing time, and it was probably the hottest summer that I'd seen here in since I've been here. It was 45 degrees. It was ridiculous. It was insane. But the rise of the women's game here in Australia compared to overseas and much like the men's or whatnot, what's our end game? Are we somewhat focusing more, less, just as much? Are we thirds, or what's?
Look. The end game is really simple. We want 50% participation. So we want 50% of all our players to be women. We want the same for our officials and the same for our coaches. Currently, I think we're sitting at around about 15% female participation, and our goal's got to be to make it 50% equal participation. We want to have the same number of women's leagues. We want to have the equivalent of our championships for the women. Like I said earlier, we're going to reinstate our national women's championship, and that provides more opportunity. We want to do what we can to drive participation up of women.
Yeah, it's names that I remember, the first couple of years, you had Olivia Del Basso, she went to
Minnesota, right?
Yeah, Minnesota, Duluth. Obviously, your household names of Shauna Godfrey's, Sarah Degermachi's, Amelia Matheson's, and your up and comers.
Kath, Sarah. I mean, awesome ambassadors for the game.
Yeah, Sarah.
Exactly.
We played 2 years ago in senior men's championship. Senior one, lost shootout. Sarah's in that. I didn't get to shoot in the shootout. Thought I would have made a difference, but whatever. I don't
Shout
even
out
think.
Sarah.
I don't even think about it anymore, actually.
Yeah. Listen, it starts with getting girls into hockey. So, Joey, what are you doing? Are you doing it for girls?
I'm not doing anything. Unfortunately, I've been around the rinks too much that I don't want my girls there.
Oh no.
I think there's such improved international exposure too, like the
Yeah.
NHL All-Star game this year with the 3-on-3 USA Canada game,
Yeah, exactly.
and I mean the gold medal game, the USA Canada gold medal game in South Korea. That was incredible. That was like must-watch television, and hopefully that kind of helps to grow the game, grow the women's game, right?
Exactly.
Well, I know.
Sorry, Joe, but at a grassroots level, you know, we want the states that are running their programs to encourage girls, and you know, there's dads out there's dad hockey players out there. We want you to bring your girls into the sport. Hey, you know, we want girls to have as much fun as the boys are having, and I know that girls love the physicality, and we should be encouraging our girls to play sports like hockey. Absolutely.
They do, and you know, I know for a fact, like Newcastle has a huge gathering of young girls playing hockey, the up and comers, and which is doing awesome. They're doing awesome. They're playing in even like a big thing when people come in. When I was at the rink, when people come in and say like, "Oh, a bit too old," say everybody starts somewhere, you know, and that's a big thing. Everybody starts somewhere, whether you're 33, 35, whatever, or 5 years old.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. People
it's never too late. That's the best thing, right? I mean, sorry, go ahead, Joe.
You sure you don't want to go off that one there, bud?
No. I was just thinking like, all right, so there is and was a rink in my backyard in Erina, Central Coast. So underutilized.
Yeah.
You know, a beautiful facility right in the middle of a shopping center, and we didn't see much hockey, and it was really unfortunate. Now I may have the time, if the rink comes back, to build a hockey program there. Have we heard anything about the potential redevelopment of the Erina Ring?
All I've heard is that they actually are removing and replacing the cladding, so that's very good. So I'm very hopeful that the rink will be up and running. But I agree with you. That's a rink with a catchment, and we just need a Pied Piper there, right? Someone that'll bring people in and show them how much fun hockey is. So, good on you, Bert.
Yeah, good on you.
You know, hopefully,
yeah, that's
that's kind of the next chapter. Hopefully, it's in my backyard and I can spearhead that.
What about,
you know, I have a young family, and
what about we challenge
this?
This would be a great challenge. All the AIHL players teach their wives how to skate and play hockey. Imagine that.
Yeah.
I love my wife I'd pull my fingernails off my hands, but I couldn't teach her to play hockey. I couldn't.
But on the other hand, maybe she'll understand, you know, why I go and play hockey, why I go on the weekend. She's my involvement and passion, right? It's maybe something that she never saw before meeting her.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I think people are. I think people are missing out because they just don't know. They don't know how much fun hockey is.
I've had a ball, and you know, my hockey experience just jump started, just leaps and bounds since I came here. Yeah, I know Bert. He did nothing prior to this. He was a bit of a
baseball player.
Nothing. Is that what you call yourself?
All right, moving forward. All right, so obviously Nathan Walker, Stormy. He's the best Australian ice hockey player of all time, and such a humble dude. He went away to train, work in his craft at a younger age. How do we see that in the development of Ice Hockey Australia? Obviously, it got him to where he is today, but
yeah, look, you're absolutely right. He's an absolutely amazing person with an incredible work ethic. I don't think people realise how much work he puts in to be where he is. An incredibly generous guy too. He's such a nice guy. He is a motivation for our local players. And I think that his success has encouraged some of our kids to go overseas. So he's had an impact on the sport in Australia. But I agree, an amazing role model for our kids.
It was pretty cool. I was helping out at an NSA camp last year, and I swear half the kids had a number 79 on their helmet somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And it says a lot about the guy. He's a class act for sure.
Yeah, he is.
Would there be, jumping into something along that lines, like I know Melbourne Ice have teamed up with Tron. Was it Bertie?
Tronus?
Tronus, yeah. And I know there was talks of Gary had been talking to a couple different teams overseas and whatnot. And would there be some sort of potential of connecting with a team, a club, an organization?
Like a pipeline?
Yeah, a pipeline to have that, to filter kids over? Like, is there something?
Look, IHA's, our job is to take care of the kids at home and the players at home. And I know that, kids go overseas, and, some people might ask, well, has that really raised the bar in Australia? Probably not. The problem is that they go overseas and they stay overseas. They don't actually come home and play. Having said that, and you've mentioned Tranos, we actually take the national under-18s team over to Tranos for their pre-championship training, and they've got a great facility, and it's sort of like tucked away in middle of nowhere, Sweden, in a tiny little town where everyone knows what everyone does. So it's sort of perfect for our under-18s to go and do their camp. But no, IHA's got no plans to hook up with any teams overseas. What our job is to develop the kids that can't go overseas, that can't afford to go overseas, but want to play hockey in Australia and want to play for the Australian team.
Well, and that's it. There's the competitiveness here it's there, and the joy. One of the big joys of hockey in Australia and the rinks in Australia is nobody takes their ice out here in the summer. It's So I know back in Canada and in Bertsky, where he's from, where are you from, Bert? Anyway, so Connecticut. So they take their ice out, you know what I mean? So you lose that summer feel. But obviously kids are multi-sport here because of the joyous climate that we have. So kids are able to play hockey all year round, you know what I mean? So they're maybe they might even have a little bit step ahead on the ice aspect. So Miranda, it's been amazing talking to you, giving us an insight of everything.
No, thank you. It's been really nice doing this, and thank you so much for inviting me on. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I think that this is a really good forum for people to kind of understand what goes on behind the scenes, your role, obviously, what you intend to do. My last question, a question I get all the time. I tend to interject, ice hockey into a lot of conversation within business and whatnot. How do you combat the question, or how do you answer the question, I didn't know they have ice hockey in Australia?
Well, you don't combat that question. You just tell them, yes, we do. And we play on the world stage. We've got national teams. And basically I say, if you're not playing ice hockey, why not? Why aren't you playing ice hockey? It's one of the best games in the world. Now, people ask me, well, what's the criteria? Like, what specifications do I have to meet to play hockey? My response is, are you breathing? Then we want you to play hockey. Get on the ice.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
I love that. I love that. If you're not playing hockey, why not?
Why not?
That's a great slogan.
Yeah, where's the t-shirts? Let's go.
Yeah. So that's the line that I use if I'm at a rink and there's general skating on, and if I get to talk to people, I do. Especially kids. Do you know about ice hockey? No. Well, you got to be playing it.
We can get the t-shirts printed. We got a company. We got our sponsor, Rap City.
Yeah.
We got a guy. Rap City, let's go.
Yeah.
Rap
Pew,
City.
pew, pew.
We'd love to print it out.
Yeah.
They'll put signs out, billboards, everything. They'll wrap your car around it.
Yeah.
Great people.
Listen, what I'd like you to do is get a T-shirt that you sell when we finally get back on the ice. I can't wait till this isolation is over and we can, everyone can get back to playing hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where do we go from here? I guess that's my second to last question. How do we rebound from this?
Well, look, it's not going to be easy. And we are at the mercy of the government. I mean, they're the ones that have put these restrictions on us. So as soon as the rinks are open, I know from my discussions around the States, people are eager to get back to hockey. In fact, I was talking to someone the other day who said, his daughter was going to give up hockey and being away from the rink just for 3 months. She can't wait to get back to it. So what we need to do is just to be flexible enough to start up, whatever leagues we can. And it's going to start obviously first off with the States. And, if the government can at least let our juniors play, then, let us get the kids back on the ice. IHA have postponed the majority of the championships, and we're hoping that, there's some, I guess, relaxing of the rules, and that we can get some of our national championships up and running. It'll probably be post-September, but we'll do what we can to get them there. And if we can get people on the ice, May, June, July, then we'll have AJ going and AW, and then we just got to wait and see what happens with the rest of the world and the national teams. I mean, I had a meeting with the national teams the other night, and we're looking at different scenarios and what we need to do to plan. So. Yeah, unfortunately, at the mercy of this pandemic and the government restrictions. But God, when it's over, game on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, let's stay positive, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, look, Joey talked about, what different hemispheres do, and melting the ice and taking a break. I guess we'll just think of this as a little bit of downtime. So
Well, I know Hunter,
enjoy the off time, yeah?
Well, I know Hunter Ice Skating Stadiums, they're redoing their ice right now. New logos, new lines. They're freshening up.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, excellent.
So,
Yeah, a bit of downtime's got me ready to go. I can't wait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just glad that nobody else turns up at the rink, because Bert has left his gear there. So I just like to be by there a couple of times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of
Cobwebs now.
Instead of a convex, his starving blades is terrible. So, but again, Miranda, it's been awesome talking to you, giving us the insight of
thanks very much.
happening, and for everybody to look out. And there, like you said, everybody needs to stay positive, and we'll be back. IHA will be back. They ain't going nowhere. You're not going anywhere. Hopefully, Bert.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, everybody will be back. There we go.
Well, take care and thanks again.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Thank you.